Hello and welcome to a new segment of Motors for the Masses, and in this segment we're going to be looking at the new cars of 2017 and the new models that are coming out in 2017. Each week we're going to be looking at a different thing about the car, and this week we're going to be looking at aesthetics, so basically what the cars look like and whether they are good, whether they are bad, whether they are ugly, whether they are gorgeous, and whether, based only on looks alone, they appear to be worth the money. So all these will be based on my opinion as a consumer on what I think of the cars and whether I would spend my money on this car based on the looks alone. Being Motors for the Masses, I'll be looking at cars that are normal, shall we say. I hate to use that word normal. What is normal? But basically a car that is not super duper hyper crazily overpriced and ridiculous that most people will never buy, let alone even see on the road. So the first car is the Fiat Abarth 500X. This is a Fiat 500 Abarth that is on stilts. It's still got the nose of the Fiat 500, but it's a massive body. Do I like the look of it? No, I don't. It's ugly. And at £25,000, would I buy one? No, I wouldn't. Okay, the next car we're going to be looking at is a new one. That's an Alfa Romeo 5 Series. Now this car I think is beautiful. Has a little bit of Audi A5 about it along the back end, but it's still got its very unique Alfa Romeo front. I think it's gorgeous, but let's be honest, a lot of Alfa Romeos seem to be really getting it right in the looks department. Prices are around £35,000. Now, would I pay £35,000 for this car? Yes, I would, because I think it looks like a £35,000 or more car. Okay, the next car we're looking at is the Audi A6. Now, obviously Audi A6s have been around for a very long time, but this one has got a little bit of a VW Phaeton or the Passat about it. Now, I think this car is actually very nice looking. It's big, it's bigger than the previous model. It's a lovely looking car. It's got a very nice front end to it, very sort of squinty little front end. Similar to the Audi A5, a little bit sporty, but it's still got that big saloon look about it. Prices around £35,000. Would I pay that? Well, personally, no, I wouldn't, because I don't like Audis per se, simply because of the type of driver that it seems to be attracting. Not labelling everybody with the same, but you know. Would I pay £35,000 for this car? Probably not. Okay, the next one is another Audi. It's the Audi A8. Now again, this has been around for a while, and they've always been a big luxury saloon car. This is no exception. It's still big, it's still luxury, it's still a saloon car. However, it's a little bit more sporting. It kind of has a little bit of an Aston Martin back end to it now, over the wheel arch. It's quite beautiful looking. However, prices seem to be going to start around £63,000. Now, would I pay £63,000 for an Audi A8? No, I would not. Probably 40 odd, but not 63. Therefore, I'd rather go for the Alfa. Okay, the next one we're going to be looking at is the BMW 3 Series and the BMW 5 Series. Now the 3 Series, again, kind of has a bit of a reputation about it, similar to the Audi A4 and A6. The 3 Series is £31,000, and again it is a very nice looking car. Again, more sporty looking than the previous model. The 5 Series, a bit more of a serious looking car, kind of executive saloon, bigger, much similar to the Audi A6, possibly Audi A8. Now, that one starts at around £36,000. Now, to me, I would rather spend the extra £5 and get a 5 Series over the 3 Series. But would I buy them? Well, I'm never really one to want a BMW until I drove one and then I liked it. And I kind of hate myself for that. I don't know why. I mean, I'm the type of person that likes cars that are not run-of-the-mill, and BMWs are definitely run-of-the-mill. They're everywhere. However, I wouldn't have a 3 Series, but I would have a 5 Series because I like the big luxury saloons. Next is the Citroen C3. Now this is a super mini, but I suppose you could call it a super mini because it's bigger than the previous model. Would I have one? No, it's ugly. Prices are around £11,000, so that's pretty good, but I still wouldn't have one. Horrible looking car. Next is the Citroen C3 Aircross. Now, would I have one of these? No, I would not. It's even uglier than the C3. It's like Citroen's version of the Fiat 500R Bath X thing. It's ugly. £15,000? No. 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 Now, next is the new Ford Fiesta. Obviously, Fiestas have been around since the beginning of time. However, I don't like them. They're small, they're everywhere. The front end is the same pretty much as the older version, and it's got a little bit of a different back end with a different window. £14,000, would I buy one? No, because I just don't like them. They're everywhere. I'm sure they'd be great for 19-year-olds or someone who's just passed their test and wants something that they can throw a loads of Halfords crap at. But for me, no thank you. Okay, next is the Ford Focus RS 500. Now, bearing in mind again, this is based on looks, so I'm sure it's a great car, but would I have one? No way. I would never spend £36,000 on a car that is just slightly different than a standard looking Ford Focus. No. Okay, next is the Honda Civic Type R. Now, this comes in at a price of £32,000. I've never really owned a Honda. They've always, as far as I'm concerned, been great running cars, but obviously, again, this is based on looks. The look of this one, I think, is great. It's wacky, it's out there, it's got big spoilers, it's got a nice big front grille. It looks great. Would I have one? Yes, I would. Okay, next is the Hyundai i30. £15,500, no. And next is the Hyundai Ionic FEV. No. £26,000 for a car that just looks like a Toyota Prius, or Prius, whatever you want to call it. It is ugly. No. Okay, next is the Jaguar XF Sport Brake. Now this comes in at a price of £34,000. Would I have one? Well, if I was in the market for an estate car, yes I would. It looks pretty nice actually. It's got class and it's got presence. Yes, I'd have one. Right, next is the Jeep Compass. Now this comes in at a price of around £28,000. Got a little bit of a Land Rover-y look about it now. Better looking than the older one, but still a bit fugly. Would I have one? No. Okay, next comes the Kia Niro. Now this is on at around about £31,000. Still has that Kia front end, that very famous shaped grille that a lot of them have, that seem to start with the i5, or I think that was the i5. Would I have one? No. For me, an SUV has to be an SUV, not a, oh, is it, isn't it, oh, it's trying to be, it just looks a bit samey with all the others, to be honest. Nah. Okay, next is the Kia Optima. Now this is coming in at a sport wagon shape at around about £35,500. That's quite a lot of money, really. I liked the old Kia, I nearly said Fiat then, I liked the old Kia Optima saloon car. I think that was a lovely looking car. That was the one that I was thinking of, not the i5. I don't know where I got that from. The Kia Optima front end, I think, is great. Lovely looking car, very aggressive looking. This sport wagon, it's kind of like the SUV shape, but lower. So would I have one? No. Bit overpriced for what it looks like. Okay, there are far too many Kias coming out, and I don't want to go through all of them, but I do want to touch on this one, the Kia Stinger GT. A great name, £43,000. It's a sports saloon. It is lovely. I love the look of it. Would I pay £43,000 for it? Yeah, I think I would. Okay, next one comes the Land Rover Discovery. Now this has lost its traditional Discovery looks and now looks very much like an Evoque cum Freelander. £43,000. Would I have one of these? No. I'm sorry, Land Rover, you've ruined the look of the Discovery. You've got the Evoque, stick with that. The Discovery should be a big off-roader type vehicle. What happened to that? Okay, the next two I'm going to touch on is the Mercedes EClass Coupe. Now this comes in at £40,000. It's an E-Class with two doors. Do I like the look of it? Yes, I do. I may be biased because I have an E-Class, albeit 10 years old, but I do like the look of this. It's very nice. And the next one is the S-Class. Now the S-Class comes in at around £69,000 and it's just a very big Mercedes. Do I like the look of it? Yes, I do. It's huge. Would I have one? Probably not at £69,000. I'd just stick with the older version because it's not that dissimilar. Okay, next is the MG ZS. Now, obviously, MG is owned by China now, and they're now bringing cars back into the UK. Do I like the look of this? No! Okay, it's only £10,000, so maybe it's something you could buy your kids as their first car, if you don't like your kids. Would I have one? No!